What's going on, guys? JP here. This presentation is for you if you want to break through your monthly revenue ceiling. So pay very close attention to every detail. I'm going to break down how we can work together and if I can help you. Why am I qualified to help you? I already work with 6, 7, and 8-figure entrepreneurs. I understand the mindset, and I am an entrepreneur myself. And I have over 6,000 hours in the studies and in the experiences of business, manifestation, reality creation, and subconscious programming. And I've realized that 95% of our reality, including our business, is controlled by our subconscious. And these are the results that I've had with a few of my clients. Kendall, just from one session that we had, I help her have this realization. I guide her through the stuff. And we saved like 5 clients that were worth $25,000 each. They re-signed to her highest mastermind, which cost $25,000 to come in. And then she was able to keep this principle for the rest of her life. And she literally told me that this revelation by itself was worth millions of dollars. Kendall is a multi-7-figure business strategist to other business coaches. So the work that we do is done at the highest level. I have Kaylee. She came in doing 6-figure profit month, 100,000, and 4 months into working one-on-one with me, we did a lot of clearing. We shifted a lot of perspectives about life, about abundance, about worthiness, and she scaled her business. And so Kaylee scaled in 4 months. I know it sounds insane, but she took the company and she 10x her profits to $1 million a month. Caroline and Sarah started working with me in 10 days. She attracted and closed a new 10K client. So that was amazing. And then she understood how to lead sales calls in a more authentic way that would help her increase the conversion rates. Caroline released a lot of what I call scarcity programming, beliefs around how much I have to work to earn and receive money in abundance. And she attracted to her $50,000 in 4 weeks. And so the main reason that people come to work with me is because they're hitting an invisible income ceiling and they can't break through their revenue. And so they've tried all of the strategies, the coaches, they've hired a bunch of different mentors that are business strategists, and they can't seem to break free because the real ceiling was never outside of them, was really within themselves, deep in their psychology and deep in their beliefs around what would scaling mean for them. And it usually means way more sacrifice. I'll go deeper into that. I'm kind of skipping the points and getting too excited. But these clients, they've hired coaches, they've implemented the systems, they've optimized the funnels, but no matter what they do for months or even years, sometimes they're stuck and plateaued at the same income ceiling. Maybe it's 100,000, maybe it's 200,000, 300,000. And when you've exhausted all external options, the only place to go is within yourself. And that's where I come in. Because for as long as you do this, imagine all the peace, the energy that you're draining, trying to solve everything outside, trying to force things to grow your business. But what's really going to grow it is when you address the root cause, which is the internal blocks or your own software, your inner operating system that's actually creating the results that you see in your business. So this is really revolutionary stuff, guys. The second main reason why people come to work with me is that they're literally just tired of burning themselves out, of having a calendar that I open it up with them when we see it, and it's filled with calls, with clients, with all day, almost every day. It's a constant to-do list. It's a constant chasing. It's a constant, I need to be productive in order to be wealthier, to be richer, to make all of this work. And so they're working a lot of freaking hours, and they're trying to continue to grow their business from force. And the reason why they come to me is because they've realized that there has to be another way. And that's a very, very important key point, because they want to scale without sacrificing their health, their relationships, their sanity. And the third reason, which is one of my favorite ones, is that they feel like they're not trusting themselves anymore in decisions with clients, with their leadership, with teams. They've lost their leader identity, and now they're second guessing themselves, and they're doubting themselves in every deal, with imposter syndrome, or they're outsourcing. That's how I call it, outsourcing their power. And so it's a constant fear of validation when they speak on stages, when they're writing books, when they're leading masterminds, when they're leading retreats, when they're leading important meetings. They've lost the connection to their confidence, to their power, to their authority, and they are just so programmed to believe and consuming more and more information, and just listening to other mentors, other coaches, other people that they look up to, and everybody's telling them to do more strategies, to do more work, to do more stuff. And what I do differently, and what people really love, my clients really love about this work when we work together, is that I remove all of that BS, and I help them really reconnect back to their own power. And I'm not here to be pedestaled anymore, or like a mentor who's higher than you. I'm simply giving you all the redirection you need to get back to who you've always been, that leader, that conscious entrepreneur that has a vision that you're bringing to life, and that the money, of course, is important, but the impact and the level of abundance and wealth and riches that you're here to create surpasses the fear of all of this self-doubt. And as you can see from my passion, we just destroy that. We literally, one of the main works that we do is we destroy the old paradigms that are keeping you stuck in the old world, in the old reality, where you have these problems. And so if you are one of these people, if this resonates with you, if you see that you have one or more of these patterns, then what I'm about to share with you will be very, very revelational. So this is the work that I do with clients. One of the main things we work together is the client leadership and communication. This is what saved Kendall like probably over $300,000 over a few weeks. So how to take responsibility for mistakes, how to lead authentically to your team and your clients. This is literally insane, okay? The cool stuff is, if you're a coach that you have other clients, then not only are you teaching them by example, but they will be able to pass that along to their clients. And that's an incredible ripple effect. I'm going to work with you on authentic authority and confidence. I already talked about that. I'm going to work with you on business system optimization. So using my engineering brain and the way that I see the world. I am really good at seeing stuff from the highest level, and I'm able to see the entire system as a whole, the funnel, the business, and identify the real ceiling, both externally and internally, with clients, with teams, with yourself. And this is I would say, probably my greatest value proposition, is that I'm able to identify your blind spots, the blind spots or the symptoms of your business, and literally with some seemingly small revelations that we integrate into your business, we're able to scale tremendously. I'm also going to be working with you on belief system reprogramming, on communication mastery, on leadership presence, and also manifestation and reality creation. And in the belief system reprogramming is where one of the greatest results comes. It's just so easy. Once we create a blueprint for your deepest beliefs about money, about success, about freedom, we start eliminating these subconscious beliefs. We start clearing the real invisible ceiling for you to scale your business. Okay? Communication mastery, extremely important. How to articulate with conviction and unwavering confidence to increase your close rates, to increase deals, to close more clients, to create content that resonates and aligns with your ideal client, and to show up in every single room with power, with presence. Like you are the one, like you are the main character of your reality, because you are. Okay, so that's going to be insane. Imagine the ROI just on communication mastery. It's out of this world. Leadership presence. This is how to really remove the imposter syndrome and the self-doubt. Already touched upon that. Manifestation is the highest level strategies for conscious creation, and how you can apply the universal laws that govern your reality and govern business to scale your income and your impact. So structure, I already touched upon this. Here's how everything works. On average, I have Zoom calls with clients. Some of my clients, I have like 2 calls a month. They love more this. Like a lot of these principles happen in real time. And so imagine that we go and we have a call about one of these lessons that we went over, and then usually life will show you in a client, in a contract, something that will help you prove that. And so that's where some of the greatest value is we go back and forth and we workshop the situation together, and I help you create the solution and empower you to create these solutions in the future as well. So you're going to have access to all of my courses, my challenges, like all of the 6,000 plus hours that I've developed in subconscious reprogramming, reality creation, and business. You're going to have access to all of those blueprints. So as soon as I start working with my clients, I give them a 30-day blueprint that only takes 15 minutes a day, with a daily habit, with a daily subconscious clearing session, and a practice for them to practice the presence and the other stuff. This is how the enrollment process works. All right. So if this is you, there's going to be a link below to schedule a call with me. You're going to book that True Self Roadmap call. We're going to get to know each other. I'm going to help understand your business and see if I can actually help you. I'm going to get to know you, get to know your beliefs around the world, get to know where you are in your business. You need a proven business model before I can come in and help you expand it. Okay. And if we're a great fit, if there is mutual alignment, and I diagnose and identify that yes, I can help you, then we can talk about that. If it's a no, then we'll just say goodbye, have a good call, and that's it. So if we're a great fit, what happens next is I'm going to book you into my calendar. We can have our first call in, let's say, a week or 2 weeks after this initial roadmap call. And then we're going to take care of the payment. And after the call, my team will send you a very simple one-to-one agreement, and we start the stuff. And I give you my number, I give you my WhatsApp and my iMessage, and we go from there. And even before we have our first call, you get access to the 30-day blueprint. You start doing the stuff, you start releasing. All right. So what you're actually getting with me is an advisor, a consultant, a mentor, and a guide for the entire duration. My clients literally call me the solutionizer, or the best non-business business coach, because as a civil engineer, I spent 5 years studying and passing the hardest tests that I could ever imagine. And all I was trained to do was to solve the equation, find the parts of the formula, and solve for the solution. And now I do the same. And instead of building buildings, I help build businesses. I help identify your blueprint as well, and I help you create that inner transformation. So with this, it's very simple. With any client that comes in with any problem, we'll workshop it, we'll solve it, and then I'll teach you how to think and have this framework to create solutions every single time. Some of my clients even decide to fly me out to work with them in person, like 1 or 2 days full, just 8 or 10 hours. And that's really cool. And you have me with you every single step of the way. Now, I literally think this is the perfect program for successful entrepreneurs who want both wealth and fulfillment, and they want peace, purpose, and profit. Let me tell you why. and debunk some of the common myths that I've seen with past clients and potential clients that we have conversations. And so, one of the greatest concerns for successful entrepreneurs that come to me is they tell me, JP, I actually, I'm afraid. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm afraid because what if I lose my drive? What if I don't have the motivation to work? Because fear, scarcity, survival, competition is what brought me to this place, and I'm doing amazing. What if I lose my edge? And the truth is that our minds always think in black and white. If I do this, then I'm going to lose that. But it doesn't work like that, because you can have both. Okay, you can upgrade your fuel. So imagine that right now you've built an amazing business, you have become a very highly successful person, and you've done it through a fuel that's not really naturally and optimized for you. Maybe you were using like gas 87 on a sports car that needed 95, or like the highest form of gas. Okay, when you switch lack and survival as the source, and you switch that to wholeness, to peace, to service, to purpose, to lead you to a higher purpose, then what happens is you upgrade the gas, the fuel for the gas and for your car, and you create what I call sustainable scaling with peace and purpose. Because sooner or later, as you have probably already experienced, if you continue to use the fuel of lack, you're going to keep crashing out, burning out, depleting yourself, because that fuel to start with was always what I call self-destructive mechanism. The fuel of wholeness, the fuel of I am worthy and deserving of all the best now, and I'm here to serve, and I'm here to build the greatest business that I can, from passion, from service, from purpose, from joy and wholeness now, is unlimited. I am also a case study, because I had that edge. I was the addiction, the Mr. Perfect, to habits, to success, to productivity, and I did amazing, and I had achieved all of the things, had an amazing life in Miami, but I felt empty. I felt unfulfilled. I felt that I was lacking something, and now I can just tell you, living on the other side is 1,000 times better. And every single day of my life, I've been able to wake up ready to serve, ready to build. Everything that I've created and continue to build is from that place of let's go and make the biggest impact, and as a byproduct, create amazing profits and wealth and riches. The other concern is there's a lot of scammers, there's a lot of coaches that are not in integrity. There's a lot of strategists or mentors that, they love to sell big dreams. They love to throw smoke and sell you on these overly crazy promises, and they never fulfill their end of the bargain. And I get it. It's literally the internet. It's literally the pandemic of trust. I believe that from the way that I speak, from the energy that I transmit to you, integrity is my number one value. Integrity to myself, integrity for my clients, integrity for my business. I never believed, and I will never believe in preaching something, teaching something, and then not living it. And the only reason that I would want to work with you is I already feel I'm good. I have the money, I have my house, I have my family, I have everything. This is a transmission of, do you also want to live that way? Do you also want to take it to the next level and live with integrity? If you don't live with integrity and you're not willing to live with integrity, this is also not the right program for you. I want to help build and expand conscious leaders that are ready to create a bigger impact. And that's how you know this is for you. Okay? I want to be very crystal clear. It's only for you. You're not looking for basic business advice. You have a foundation and you want to scale it exponentially, and you know that your identity, your consciousness, that reality has certain principles and certain orders that we can hack, that we can leverage to take things to the next level. If you're just looking for business tactics or more strategies or more marketing, I'm not your guy. I'm your guy, and this work is for you if you are willing to prioritize peace and purpose before external validation. You are self-led, super important. You're successful and you want to get to the next level, and you're committed to doing the deep transformational work to upgrade your identity. There's a part of you that you need to let go to become this integration of both wealth and peace. I call it peaceful money. Profits, peace, and purpose. So if you've made it this far, this is what you have to do if you know this is for you. Click the link below, book a roadmap call with me, and we will meet very, very soon. And on this call, we're going to deep dive into your current situation, diagnose your business, diagnose you, understand all of that. We already talked about that, and see if we're a good fit. All right? We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be incredible. Okay? And lastly, this is not a sales call. I literally see it as a connection call where we get to know each other. That's the most important part for me. And I work probably with 3 or 4 clients every 4 months. And it's this way because that's how I choose to work. And that way I can focus so much more on you and your business. So if you know that this is for you, don't wait. Book the call now, and I'll see you on the other side. And for those of you who are ready, I'm so excited to help you step into the wealth, the impact, and the riches that are waiting for you on the other side of this life-changing work. All the love, JP signing out.